I just got a $1.2 million listing off of a postcard you created. There's also another advertising platform that's generating $39 billion a year in revenue. That's direct mail. If you can get the consumer to question their beliefs, it can lead to a conversation. It's time to reimagine our just sold and start highlighting and showcasing the things that we're doing that are really justifying the value that we provide for our clients. Number two, I think it would surprise people to learn this, Jimmy. Instagram right now, businesses spend about $40 billion a year, which is incredible when you think about it. And when you look at advertising dollars and where you spend your money on marketing, oftentimes we get attracted to the newest, shiniest object. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, there's also another advertising platform that's generating $39 billion a year in revenue. That's direct mail. And I actually believe that direct mail, there's such an incredible opportunity to reimagine the type of marketing we do with direct mail. I'll give you an example of this. My friend Carrie hit me up on Instagram. She goes, Jimmy, I just got a $1.2 million listing off of a postcard you created. And so obviously I'm like, that's great. Tell me the story behind it. She sent it to a few hundred people. And the story was she sold a house above the Zestimate. And most people who do this, and by the way, Zillow has given us the greatest gift of all time. People don't know this, Jimmy. If you go to Zillow and you look up a home on Zillow, you can click below the Zestimate. There's a link called Zestimate History. You click on that link and it will expose their Zestimate history over time. So in the past, we would have no record of this, of what the Zestimate was before we sold the house or even the historical Zestimate. Zillow now, kudos to Zillow, they're now making that information transparent. So what Carrie did is Carrie took a screenshot of the Zestimate before she sold the house and then a screenshot of the Zestimate after she sold the house. And she put those two photos on a postcard. And it was about, if I'm not misquoting, about a $74,000 difference. And in the mind of the consumer, what that does, when she says, hey, we just sold the house $74,000 above the Zestimate. If you're thinking about making a move and you have the earliest thoughts of doing it, like, here's my number, call me. And so she got that $1.2 million listing from that postcard. But what she did is she created this curiosity gap in the mind of the consumer. And this is a really important thing. If you can get the consumer to question their beliefs, it can lead to a conversation. So in this instance, the average consumer believes that their Zestimate is probably generally accurate. Like, hey, this is a smart company. They get all the data. It's probably not out. And again, sophisticated consumers, sure, they probably know. But the average consumer, they're probably going to take it at face value. So she was able to use this bit of information to create this curiosity gap, which then when she sent out the Just Sold campaign, which it says saying sold above the ask price in 3 days with multiple offers, which is what every other person did or does in her market, she went the exact opposite direction. So shout out to Carrie, amazing execution of this campaign. Jimmy, I called this the ZVA postcard, Zillow versus agent. And so I would say it's time, the broader theme there, Jimmy, is it's time to reimagine our just sold and start highlighting and showcasing the things that we're doing that are really justifying the value that we provide for our clients.
Jimmy, historically speaking, I've always said when other people get bored with something is really when the opportunity shows up. And
Totally.
I think direct mail right now, especially reimagined like this, the way that you've been doing it and the way you're teaching and everything you're putting out. By the way, if you're not following Jimmy on Instagram, I know what is it you said? You want to be the most valuable. What is the saying there, Jimmy?
I want to be but I changed it now to I want to be the most likable Jimmy because I'm in second place compared to you. Okay. Jimmy
Whatever.
Bahama. No,
Yeah.
I'm trying to be the most useful person to follow in real estate. Like I said earlier, my thing with Instagram is I just try to put out things that can help you get customers. Because I mean, like this is the challenge right now, Jimmy. I tweeted this recently. I said if you're waiting for Jerome Powell to drop interest rates, something's really broken. And it's like I think right now I recognize it's such agents right now are they're I mean, the level of outside forces trying to disrupt them is so extreme that if I can help them just get some customers, it's going to make everything a little bit easier for them. And so I think that's really where my focus has been and where I've carved out my niche is like, let's just focus on, this is the one thing we can control, which is getting customers and serving them. The other stuff, that's beyond our control at this stage.
So good. But by the way, I started this, but make sure you're following Jimmy on Instagram. I mean, he may say that, but listen, I don't, I mean, you're my boy and everything, but let's be real. I mean, there is nobody that I know that is giving that much value, that is actionable examples. So yeah, please, I would encourage everybody to go out there. You're going to get a deal or two if you just follow Jimmy on Instagram every year, in my opinion.